Okay, I'm rolling up my sleeves. Sup, it's Marie, and today is Pattern Thursday again. Pattern Thursday really doesn't work, but it's the day of the week where I'm gonna draw patterns and ramble about whatever. And also, for this episode, I forgot to film footage of me doing the thumbs up, so I took the footage of the last pattern I made. Oops, haha, sorry. So this time, I feel like drawing flowers. You know, spring is coming sometime soon, hopefully. So I felt like drawing flowers. Flowers are great, who doesn't love them? So here we are. And as you can see in the corner, I already picked out some colors I want to use, some kind of color scheme. The process of me picking out these colors was long and boring, so I cut that out. I don't think you want to see 20 minutes of me deciding if I should use 50% cyan or 51% cyan, because that's not fun. So for the last pattern, the donut pattern, it was kind of very clean and very thought through. You know, I was working very thoroughly, very well clean, more constructing it than drawing it really. But this time I really just kind of want to draw, just go wild. Well, wild. It's not really wild, but you know, not working it clean. Just paint whatever enters my mind, paint it, and there's that. So I'm starting off with just this little leaf thing, this little branch with leaves on it. Honestly, all these flowers I'm drawing, they're not real flowers. I mean, maybe they are. Maybe I just happened to draw a real flower. But I didn't use any real flowers as reference or anything. I kind of just, like when you ask a child to draw a flower and it just does this, you know, little circle thing and then these, I don't know, 6 petals around it, and it's not really a real flower. It's just whatever. It's just flower. You know, I was just kind of doing whatever my brain told me. Blame my brain, not me. So I spent a long time just on this first one. This is really sped up, but you can already see how long it took me. I think this is like 4 times the speed. So yeah, you can see how long it took me to just rearrange everything and be like, yeah, okay, this is how I want it to look like. It's really awful sometimes. You draw something that looks so simple and it just, you think, yeah, you know, you look at it and you're like, yeah, this took a few minutes maybe. But in reality, it took a few hours because art always takes longer than you think. It's awful. And I just couldn't decide, like, what do I want the stroke width to be? Do I want the stroke to be 4 pixels or 5 pixels? It's just so stupid. You could have made the exact same design in 30 minutes, but it took me several hours because I'm slow. And that's fine. Hey, everyone has different speeds. But yeah, the branch leaf thing, what even is this called? This branch thing is almost done. And I already like what it looks like. I'm really happy with these colors. I think using this kind of, well, it's more blue. It's kind of a turquoise. How do you say the word? Turquoise. Using this bluish, greenish color, it's just, I don't know, it really adds something. Like if I just use straight up green, I feel like it wouldn't look that great because the green wouldn't go so well with the orange and the yellow that I'm using later on. But this like very bluish green, greenish blue, it works really well. It's a nice color. And then I decided to use this darker blue for some accent. And I think it's really funny to see that this like making a stroke. Okay, undo. Okay, another stroke. Undo. Stroke. Undo. Stroke. Undo. It's so funny. It's like, it feels like as an artist you spend most of your time just redoing one stroke for 20 times until you're like, yeah, this stroke is perfect. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But hey, here's this branch leaf thing. It's looking great. I already like it. I'm happy with this. So I'm grouping it together, get it out of my way, starting the next one. And so this next one, I'm struggling again with the stroke size. It's just a struggle, man. It's a struggle. So yeah, again, I'm not sure what exactly I'm doing. I'm just making up a flower as I go. Being creative. Being like, yeah, this is a flower now. Don't know if something like this exists in real life, but it exists in my brain, so that's good enough. And again, I really like the combination of this lighter blue, the darker blue. Looks good together. And here I finally used the yellow too, and it's looking nice. I think it's actually really fun to see how really 90% of the art process is arranging things. It's like, I always feel that way too when I do, some kind of art or design work for other people, or like, at work. It just feels like only 10% of your job is really being creative, and 90% of your job is just making it work. Because it's great if you have nice ideas that look great in your brain, and they're just, great colors and great composition and this and that. But as soon as you try to bring it on paper or, on screen, it's just such a struggle. It's just, hey, okay, in my brain it was all so easy and it all worked together so nicely, but now I'm actually doing it and this color isn't perfect and this color isn't great and they don't look good together, and then maybe this should be a bit bigger or this should be smaller and further to the left, further to the right. And it's just really, in the end, you spend so much time just arranging things and trying out 20 different possibilities to see which one works the best, which one gets the closest to the image you had in your brain. And really, it really feels like it's like you're constructing something, it's just, you're slowly building it up and somehow making it work, and it's a process, man. It's a process. So I'm done with this flower and I'm moving on to the next thing, which is some kind of flower. For this one, I really just wanted to scribble some shapes, just, very freely do whatever I want. And so, yeah, I just made this kind of fun-looking flower thing. I should really maybe look up if any of the things I'm drawing, exist in real life, if they maybe look somewhat like real flowers. That would be fun. I actually wanted to draw real flowers at first, but then I was too lazy to, Google images of these flowers to use as reference, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do whatever, just freestyle it, Those are fantasy flowers. And then that one is already done. Since that previous one was more free, it was also way quicker, which is great. But then here's the next flower, and it's again half an hour of me rearranging things and making these leaves work, because the way they are in the beginning, it's just not vibing with me. And then there's also the struggle of, like I said earlier with this, if you ask a child to draw a flower and it's just doing the circle and the petals, I feel like I still got that ingrained in my mind, because whenever I think, okay, draw a flower, my brain's like, okay, do exactly what you did as a child. Just the same kind of flower over and over again. And sometimes it's really hard to think of other shapes and be like, okay, how can I draw different looking flowers that are all unique and that all look good? So what I did actually was I went on a stock image site and kind of just looked up flower illustrations and kind of drew some inspiration from that. And that's actually something really great to do if you want to draw something but you just can't think of anything, because you can't always just rely on your brain to make up something. Sometimes you usually need to see things to get inspired, to get ideas. So it can really help to look at other people's work and get inspired. Obviously, I'm not saying, hey, copy what other people are doing, because obviously no, that's bad. But you can get inspired by them. Just look at their ideas and it can help your brain to develop new ideas. So that's good. Good shit. Do that. So here I'm doing another branch with some leaves on them. Looking a bit different this time, a bit more wild, I guess, than the first one. I keep repeating it, but I just really like the way these two shades of blue just look together. There's one more greenish blue and the other, the darker one, is really more blue. It's just, I don't know, they look nice together. And then together with the yellow and the orange, I just think it's looking really good. And then I'm done with that. And next up, another flower. So this one was also a struggle, because the thing with flowers or with organic shapes in general is you want the branches to look good, obviously, but you also want them to look natural, because things that look natural don't always look good. Like if you just pick up a branch in nature, it's not gonna be this perfect composition. Nature isn't like, okay, I'm gonna produce something that looks as good as possible. Nature is gonna produce something that works. And so if you just pick up a branch in nature, it's not gonna like look perfect and it's nicely balanced and it looks like it was drawn. It's just gonna be kind of random. And that's the problem when you're drawing something like flowers or trees or any kind of nature scenes. Like nature isn't always the most aesthetically pleasing. You're gonna draw something the way it looks in real life and you're like, hey, this looks like shit, this looks wrong. But it's actually perfectly fine the way it is. Sometimes it's hard to find that balance between natural and beautiful. I mean, I'm not saying nature isn't beautiful. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so lastly, I'm drawing a few flowers just kind of from above, just like the petals and the flower bud. And this one is pretty close to what I always have in mind. The simple childlike drawing, but I try to make it a bit more interesting so it wouldn't be a typical children's drawing. I love it when I'm using the brush tool and it's just so wonky. In the end, I think this flower is looking really nice, but just from that first outline I'm making, it just looks like such a mess. It's so funny. I love seeing the process of art. It's just so fun to see something go from like wonky and messy to something so pretty. It's really fun. I like it. So then I'm experimenting a bit with the colors, going back and forth, trying to see what kind of color I like the most. And this is always kind of a struggle. It's like, do I use the yellow? Do I use the blue? Which color looks the best? So yeah, the design process is also a lot of back and forth. Here's another very stereotypical flower. It still looks cute, but it's just so stereotypical. It's funny. And then lastly, I'm drawing a leaf. Again, redoing the stroke about 10 times. until I get the right leaf shape, the beautiful, perfect leaf. And it's just, you know, the most standard leaf. It's so funny to watch the redoing of the stroke again and again. Stroke, no, stroke, no, stroke, no, stroke. It's funny. It's funny. I love watching that. So, this is the last component of the pattern. Looking good. Pretty happy with it. I think all the components look really nice on their own, and together they look even better. They just work really well together, I think. And then I forgot to hit record on me rearranging all the flowers to make the continuous pattern in the end. So here's the end result. Everything nicely put into place. I think it looks really cute. And it looks even better when you continue that pattern on and on. I'm really happy with this one. It really gives me spring vibes. And yeah, that's it for this week's Pattern Thursday. See ya. Bye.